Right guys, it's been months now since I've been building it, and today is the final day. We are on our maiden voyage. I'm going to keep you updated. Obviously it's a bit like van life with a baby, so it's all a bit different. The van is absolutely filled with his stuff. I didn't quite realise how much he needed. You can't even see the half of it. But it all starts with, and it's all I've got at the moment, but this is our sticker wall. I've got a little Urban Arc Overland one that I've made up, and then I've got people that I know, people that I've met, people that I deal with. They're all going to find their way up there, and also places that we go. I know a lot of people do the badges and things like that, but we're hopefully going to find a sticker at any cool place we go, and it's going to end up on our sticker wall. So stay tuned. So this sounds really kind of up my own bum, like we're always like staying in posh places, and we're not. But one of the things I found myself missing during lockdown was something as normal as room service. So I kind of found myself like listening to books and things like that, and they're talking about getting room service, and I was like, oh, do you remember the days of room service? So on our travels, before going to France, we booked ourselves a hotel. So we get to reset ourselves a little bit, have a proper shower, have a hot meal delivered to our room, that kind of thing. But let me tell you, I've come to and from the van about 15 times. Like now I've just come down to get some baby bath, basically bubbles for his bath, and I reckon I've been to this van 15 times. There's a lot to be said for having everything in one little place, but I'll enjoy the big bed, I'll enjoy the space, I'll enjoy putting Isaac way over in the corner and actually being able to talk at a decent level and things like that, without waking him up. But yeah, I have literally walked to the van probably 15 times, and by the way, we're staying in like Downton Abbey, so it is a bit of a walk. So we are at our first stop. I won't even try to pronounce it, but it's only an hour the other side of Calais. What with travelling to the port, waiting around and getting on and across and things like that, we didn't want too much for the boy and too much travelling, which brings me on to my next point. There is no better way to travel with a baby than a motorhome, because you know, everything's there on hand. You can change him when you need to. You know, you can pop into the back and see that he's all right. You know, you got his food in the fridge. Everything is just so much easier. I've never had a baby, never travelled with a baby, and you know, I know there's some Swiss Army mums out there that can change their baby on the boot lid and things like that, but having everything just like that has been great, and he's been absolutely great. We try not to travel too much. We make regular stops and things like that, keep him busy, keep him occupied, but he'll nap in the car or in the van, and yeah, it's worked out great. So we're at our first stop in France. The weather is absolutely beautiful. It's actually really hot. The one thing I will say, if any of the other places in France are like this, I can already say that they do it much better than we do. Every pitch has got water, every pitch that we're in at the moment has got a disposal point, electric hookup. It's just so much better. There's more space, better laid out. So yeah, really happy with it. Really happy with the process so far. He's been an absolute diamond once again. I was really concerned about the travelling, how he would cope with it. So yeah, I'm off to go get a couple of takeaway beers and get the barbecue on. So I'm not used to doing these vlog styles, and a lot passes by and I think, right, I better do an update. We've seen some amazing things, but I will keep trying, so stick with me and I'll show you the rest of my travels. What a lovely place this is. I'll tag the campsite in below. Real cheap, good food, cold beer, big pictures, everything you want really. So yeah. Excuse the barnet. Just had a shower down in the shower blocks, and yeah, I appreciated that because it is 38 degrees here. This is a park for the night, or park for night site. We found it on our way. We just had a few takeaway beers. That's our site there. So we are about to cross the Salazar Bridge. I don't think the photo is going to quite do it justice, but it's a beauty.
Yeah.
Boo. Boo.
Hey, no, I'm got a lot of skin on show. That doesn't mean.
You know I'm one for things and stuff and stuff. So Ruth managed to pick one of these up. It's a washing line. Basically, just two twisted together so tight it requires no pegs at all. So simple. I expect there's people out there have been doing it for years with vines and paracord and whatever, but Amazon, basically no money at all. Good bit of kit. Hey, you want it? You want it? You have it then. Selfie time. Selfie time. Woo. Ooh. So this is our last full day on this campsite before we take a slow drive back to the port with a couple of stops. Which brings me to my next point, is when you're traveling with a baby, you can't kill the traveling side of things, and you find yourself not stopping at cool locations to take photos and stuff like that, because there's a very small window of keeping a baby happy in a car seat and what's fair for him as well. So we've been doing a couple of hours at a time, sometimes with a supermarket stop, and obviously he comes in with us to break the monotony up a little bit. But yeah, so that's one of the main points of traveling with a baby, is not to absolutely kill the driving. So we don't need to go any further into France really. We're getting a good taste of it. Next point, last baby thing, the heat. I like the hot weather. Ruth loves the hot weather, but this is hot. It's hitting 38 in a van. But he has been really good. We got our max fans on, trying to suck the cold air, trying to suck the air out, and we got a fan not directed at him, but in and around his cot area to encourage a breeze. But he's handling it really well. He's napping now. It's 11:30, and it's already hot. I'm sweating. I've only got this t-shirt on for you guys to spare you, really, if I'm honest. Right, so the van, how's that holding up? A couple of things. I do want to change the layout at the end of this year. It's a lovely layout, but I do want to change it. But immediate problems is the lift out cover for the sink. Something swollen. That takes a real good, I mean, it fits there snug. So when I get back, I'm going to trim that a little bit so it's a bit more loose fitting. Ruth refuses to put it back in its place now because it's so hard to get out, so we end up just passing it around. So that needs addressing. The shower tray, there's nothing I can really do about it, but obviously you install a shower tray flat to your floor. It's got its own runoffs built into it. We're parked, it doesn't feel like we're on a slope, but we are obviously on a slope because when we use the shower, it pools in one corner, so we had to mop that out, because otherwise you go in there to use the loo and you just create an absolute mess, which is the other part of vanning. You're cleaning the floor every single day, especially if you're on a campsite. You're actually doing it 2-3 times a day because you're just kicking dust and grass and all that kind of thing inside. So I know we're not van lifers, we don't live in the van, we're holidaying in the van. There's a couple of things. So the facilities, we're at campsites and things like that. If the facilities are okay, and it takes a lot to scare me because I played a lot of football, cold showers on a December Sunday morning with 15 other hairy ass builders, takes a lot to scare me away from a shower. I do find myself using the facilities on the campsite. The shower is lovely. 38 degrees heat probably doesn't help, you know, when you're in a small little shower like that. And we do use it. We have used it on a previous site that we was at, but it is actually easier to just pick your towel up, take a walk up, and you know, you got the space and freedom of a nice big shower. And we do find ourselves doing that. And without scaring you guys off too much, the number 2s as well, pretty much same thing. Don't want to sit in there for any amount of time in that little cubicle. It's a nice size for what it is, but I find myself taking myself off up to the shower block for the same reason. So we are absolutely loving it. It's hard work, especially with a baby, trying to keep him occupied in this kind of heat. We've got a little paddling pool for him, so we keep him cool. There's actually a pool on this campsite, so we go up there early evening and have a swim and stuff like that. So all of that side of things is great. Now, once again, we're not van life. We don't live in the van. This is a holiday, but I'd be fascinated to find out if anything changes along the way between holidaying and van life. What makes it impossible to not drink every single night. So I don't know if that's just because we're on holiday, because you eat and drink and things like that, but our diet has been poor. Well, mine has. Doesn't help that every site in France has a bread man, so you can just have pain au chocolat delivered to your van in the morning, which is great. But yeah, I don't know where the cut-off is between holiday and actually living in a van that you know, kind of stops you from drinking every single night, because yeah, sat here, 5 o'clock turns round, 3 o'clock, and the beers come out. Oh, major point, major problem with the van, just remembered, the fridge. I don't think it's actually a problem, but it's something to bear in mind. So I've got an isotherm 65 litre cruise fridge. Absolutely lovely, loads of space, got a little freezer compartment that is really good. Now, I haven't looked into it, but my common sense is telling me that it will give you a minus amount. So say if it's 20 degrees, it will give you minus 16. It can always give you minus 16 or something like that. So what I'm getting at is, at night, when it's cooled down, and in the morning, our drinks and our food it actually freezes in places sometimes, so I've got it turned right up. Absolutely lovely and cold, but through the day, the fridge is really working hard with the heat, and it can't cool it. So unfortunately, it's right at the time of day where you want a cold beer, so they go in the freezer compartment. But yeah, notice that. I thought the fridge was playing silly buggers on me, and then it just dawned on me that it can't quite cope with the heat. So when we get air conditioning next year, hopefully the fridge will have a better chance of keeping those beers cool.